Want to take over? Hey, Andy and Jamie, what's going on?
Hey, Scott. Thanks, buddy. Hey, Jamie. How are you?
Andy, happy Thursday. Hello, Scott. Hello, everyone out there.
Yes, hello to you. And yes, Mike C. Andy is here today. I had a nice week off. It's always good for the soul. But anyway, yeah, back in the saddle, and hopefully we'll put on a good show for you today. All right, this is the Trading Studio. My name's Andy. That's Jamie and Scott. And let's dive in. Thanks, everybody, once again for coming. Before we do anything, let's go over our disclaimer here. Okay, we are content publishers. Jamie and I, although we used to carry a Series 7 license and would technically be able to legally give you advice, we no longer hang that license anymore. Okay, we're just old withered traders. But anyway.
Did you have to use the term withered?
Yeah, but anyway, guys, to get back to the disclaimer. All right.
I think he meant to say weathered.
There you go.
There you go.
Well, that one, yeah. Unfortunately, I didn't, but no, go ahead. Anyway, guys, nothing that we say or that you hear or see today should be construed as investment advice. If you are looking for that, seek out a stockbroker, a registered advisor, somebody that still hangs that Series 7 license. All right, the agenda for today, market recap. Ugly day for the bulls, I should say. I should qualify that when I put ugly day. For if you're bearish, it could have been a beautiful day for you. But we're going to talk about what does it mean. Okay, we've been seeing a few of these over the last several months, so we'll kind of analyze this one a little bit. Then Jamie will go over a few trades in the Holly recap. Not a bad day from Holly, considering all things considering. And then I'm going to talk a little bit about my pullback swing alerts that I really enjoy. And the reason I want to talk about them today is we're kind of seeing a market. I see a lot of traders out there that having a hard time getting any follow through in any direction. And when it comes to a market like this, it's good to kind of have a almost a counterintuitive, contrarian type alert that can help you kind of go against the grain at times. But they can also be great setups for either a long or a short. So we will, and most of you have seen these, but I love to show them because we have new people all the time, and they can be just great idea generating alerts. All right, and then the price alert games, and we're going to do something a little bit different, okay? Because it's going to come at some point. We're going to get into an extended period of bearish price action, okay? And when that happens, take it from somebody who's traded a very long time. It's always great if you can go either direction. In other words, shorting. I'm going to talk about the last 3 times I have shorted Tesla. I'm currently short it right now, and they've been all been great trades. So I'm going to talk about that and then kind of give you an alert that will kind of help you find these type of setups. And then we're also going to look at the long one too, because let's face it, most of us like to go long, including myself, but it's always good to have that backhand, we like to say. All right, let's talk a little bit about the support, education, and training here, since we do have new people in here all the time. When you first open up Trade Ideas, you're going to kind of, I don't want to say taken off guard, but it's a very powerful software, and we don't want you to be intimidated by it, because you can make this thing as easy as you want to use. We have tons of configurations already set up for you. If you have an idea what you're looking for, more than likely we're going to have it and pre-built for you. But there's other people who want to spend weeks and sometimes maybe a month or so just learning every aspect of our software, which is cool. We have something for everybody, if you will. And it's our job to make sure that you know how to, to use it to your advantage. And whether you want to use the very basic pre-configured alerts, or where you want to build something really cool, we're here to help you. And we do that by offering these webinars every day at 5 Eastern time. I say every day, Monday through Thursday. You can see the lineup over there on the left side. We do have a fire up my Epic pen here while I'm talking, so I could I can have it when I go into the market recap. On Wednesdays, we do have our CEO and our CTO, Brad Williams and Dan Merkin, and they put on a good show. It's a great Q&A place to come and ask questions, and also they're always good about giving you the latest kind of dive into the versions that may be coming out and kind of tease you a little bit. And then the support webinar, guys, don't forget this one right here. It's every Monday through Friday at 12 Eastern time. This is where we open up the live stream. We take over Barry's for about 1 hour and we open it up. That's the best place to come for Q&A because we can demonstrate for you using the desktop sharing ability of the live stream. And there's a chat panel in there where you can ask questions. So please, that's the best place. You can send emails. Scott will show you our email at the end of this webinar. But just keep in mind, it's a lot easier to demonstrate once you have a visual versus us just giving you text back and forth. All right, let me erase this and move on to the next slide. And this is what I was talking about, that daily support session. It is weekdays at 12 Eastern time. And here's where you want to go if you're not in Barry's room. If you're in Barry's room, just stay in there. We'll take over and you will be able to just sit back and make a smooth transition with us, hopefully. All right, let's dive in now to the market recap. And let me pull up the spies here. Let me get rid of this. All right, so zoom in a little bit on the spies, and like Jamie was mentioning, maybe that was before we came on today, but we closed bounced right off our fast line, that being the 10-period moving average, okay, in the spies. So not a lot of damage here, looks like, someone would say this was just some normal backing and filling. It's not extreme volume, a little bit higher than what we did yesterday on the update, but nothing crazy. But let's take a look at the Qs. A little bit different story there, and I think you got to focus on this because it's back now below its 20 period and its 10 period, and really only briefly got above its 50 period yesterday, and that was the only day, say over the last couple of weeks, it's been above the 50 period. It didn't stay there very long. You can see it right there, closed above that 50, but today, ugly gap down and closing near lows below its 10 period and its 20 period. And now you got the 50 kind of lined up opposite of what you would like to see in a very bullish tape. See this over here, guys? You got the 10 above the 20 and then above the 50, and look at this price action. That's what bulls want to see in a nice rally. Now we have everything just the opposite. We have the 10 and the 20 and the 50. So more damage done in the Qs for sure. So I'm not going to go over IWM or the Dow right now, especially the Dow. That's just 30 stocks, but I mean, it's still important. But when you have as many as you have in the Qs and SPYs, I think that's just a better weighting. So you know me, I've been kind of leaning bearish for a while, and I'm not to the point, I should say, to where I'm loading up on the short side. I am taking some shorts, but I'm also still taking longs. So I'm just kind of playing what I feel at the time. But I think it's good to do that, just because if you get in the habit of what you've done all up through this point right here, and trust me, I know, guys, I've traded for a long time. If you start trading the same way through this kind of action that we're seeing right now, where you're constantly having these down moves, in the market, it can be very tough, So whether you're a day trader or a swing trader, whatever you're doing, if you do not like shorting, it's probably a good time to at least play some sort of contrarian to the long side, where you're not trying to buy breakouts because they're not really working. Obviously, there's some crazy stocks out there that you are getting some follow through, but for the most part, you're not seeing the same follow through in stocks, through all this as you saw, over here for sure. All right, looks like a mess there, Jamie, but You know, I would. Oh, and one other thing too, guys. This is a key point. You know, why did we gap down so much today? You know, what's leading the market around? Qs have really been soft. I'm not too going to pretend like I know that much about yield curves and all that, but both Jamie and I are old enough to remember what it was like in the 80s. Okay, when you had interest rates going skyrocketing. Of course, we're nowhere near that, but the 10-year yield has moved up to a 14, I think a 14-month high right now. So keep that in the back of your mind, okay? Because I can, you know, we had a nice gap down in the 10-year today, and the other bonds did as well. So anytime you see that, rates are going higher. So keep an eye. If you want to keep an eye on something, maybe keep an eye on the Treasury bonds right now, because trust me, the Fed has a lot of bullets, but when it comes to if interest rates start getting out of hand, there's not too many bullets. You know, I mean, you get inflation out of hand, there's only one bullet they have, and that's to raise rates. And markets do not like, if it's anything equity markets do not like, is rates going higher for the most part. I mean, a little bit's okay, but you don't want to get them out of hand. All right, Jamie. I hope you agree with what I said. Like I said, I don't want to pretend I'm a guru when it comes to yield curves and all that, but
Right.
I
mean, economist, yeah, I am not one. But it's going to be interesting because, you know, with all the money that's been printed in the past year, you can't just do that without having any impact, right?
Right.
So, you know, people who are much smarter than myself that I listen to talk about how, you know, moving forward, you know, we are going to see some inflation and talk of the dollar losing 10 to 15% of its purchasing power every year moving forward, right?
Yeah.
So when you think about it in those terms, you're like, so you tell me I got to make 15% just to stay flat on my cash? I mean, so it's going to get interesting to say the least. When it's going to happen is another matter.
Who knows? Yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, me and Jamie both agree at some point, you know, this 12-year experiment that we've had is going to come home to roost. I hope it's not going to, you know, be as ugly as I sometimes think it's going to be, but who knows? Maybe these feds are smart enough to they have a plan. But anyway, I don't want to scare anybody because, like I said, I'm not an economist. But
Well, and also too, Andy, I mean, that's why it is important to traders out there who have not really dipped their foot into short selling. Now's the time to get used to it or to kind of practice with it, because, you know, it's not a matter of if, it's just a matter of when the market does flip and we go into a bear market, there's going to be plenty of money out there as well to be had on the downside.
oh yeah. All right, I
All
think
right.
that's about it. Just, you know, real quickly, because I really didn't talk about what we may, you know, look to expect. I think if we can't hold this 10 period, a dive down to this 20 can be real quick. And you know, who knows? Who knows? I would keep an eye on the Qs, because I know we've had a rotation right now, especially in the spies. You see financials holding us up one day, then oil and gas, you know. Yeah, let's see how long that can keep up, but especially if technology keeps selling off. So I know everybody says, well, you got to park your money somewhere, but you know, I don't know. If all assets started falling out of bed, maybe you don't. Maybe you can keep it in good old cash for a while. But all right, Jamie, you can take it over when you like.
All righty, let's look at a few Holly highlights here. And you should have eyes on my screen there.
Let's see, I got it.
Okay, perfecto. All right, well, we can see the whole Holly blotter right here. And if we look at the newly redesigned Holly channels over here, not redesigned, the graphics, 7 from Holly 1.0, Holly 2.0 kind of sat on the sidelines today, no signals from 2.0, and 3 from Neo. So between 10 trades, we do see a nice little positive total in both Holly 1.0 and Neo. Now just keep in mind, these values are based on taking 100 shares per trade, whereas the numbers reflected on my blotter are based around risking $100 per trade. And for those of you who might be new and wonder how you might adjust that, all we do is we come down here to Tools on the TI toolbar, go to Options, and click on AI Trade Size. And this is where we can select our trade sizing, dollars, shares, or as in the case here, just risking $100 per trade. And that way the system gets you into the appropriate amount of shares based on the stop loss that is assigned to each and every trade. Okay, so typically what we like to talk about here in the Holly recap, at the end of the day, was there any spread between conservative and moderate profit mode? And we need to see a bigger number over here at the close. And when we examine these columns here, we only really see one, and that was in the 4 short trade executed through the bond shorty strategy. And let's take a look. All right. Not a bad entry. You know, we had a little swoon down, comes all the way back up. Holly spots a good short right here at 88.05. Got that statistical weight behind it. Get a little immediate gratification only to see whoosh right back up to that entry line. Notice why Holly flatted it right here in conservative mode. Profit save, okay? Kind of reminds me, well, of me sometimes, Andy. You're in the money. Oh no, it's gonna reverse on me. I better flat it instead of take that small loser. Holly did the same thing here because such a swing in the direction of the stock. So she flats it right here and the shaded area coinciding with that move that she made. One thing to keep in mind here, that 10 period in control, just to the downside this time. So right back up to the 10, right back up to the entry line, give it about 30 more minutes, starts to go back down, and had we just been patient, would have paid off nicely, $200 on a $100 risk going into the close. Now, keep in mind, it never really even got into this area right here, never really even tempted the hard stop loss, and especially in markets like these, really want to stick to those hard stops because that's, well, that's what they're designed for. So not a bad trade, a little bit of spread there in the 4 trade. So there we have that one. Now, if we look at the rest of these, there's not really any spread to be had here between conservative and moderate, but these next couple of trades, this VIA, what a beautiful short on this one. I mean, we've just been kind of gawking at this chart over the past 3 days going, when's it going to pull back? Well, it did pull back, but boy, talk about resilient, okay? We're able to get a little piece of it today. So a really beautiful entry up here from Holly at the 97.48 level, and just a nice orderly descent down. Probably could have got a little bit more here, 95.67 versus the close, but still a good trade nonetheless, but not any conservative versus moderate spread. She made the call pretty good right here on the exit, right about 15 minutes before the close there, actually 30 minutes before the close on a timed exit. Not really any add opportunity here either, but a little bit different of a setup over here in Prim, okay? Talk about a nice tame trade, or a polite trade, I should say. This is about as polite as a trade can be. The signal coming back here, right about 2 hours into the open, short of 34.80. And what do we do after that entry? Just basically hugged up and down through that entry line for a good couple of hours there at least. But nothing to get too excited about. Once again, not encroaching into this, you know, stop area whatsoever, just a hair. And then this one presented us with a really nice opportunity to add to that position. I mean, just straight and level here. You could level your house on this little consolidation here. Once this opening range break was broken, that would have been a nice time to throw a few more shares on, okay? And this candle right here is when we surpassed the low of that 915 candle. Would have been a great time to add to that position, and the volume was there as well. So we got the first entry here, just had to be patient. As this is setting up, that's where your mind should go, okay? If it breaks this plane, I'm gonna add to the position. Volume was kicking all day, and this one finished up at a 9.48. So this one telegraphed really well with a really nice add opportunity. Probably another, what do we have there? 34.59 all the way down to the biggest move of the day. So another point on top of what Holly booked here was the potential with an add on there. Other than that, Andy, everything else is pretty bland. Not really any good trade arounds, as we can see from these stop outs. if we look at the aggressive column values here, if we would have seen some of these approaching zero or even getting into the green, those were the ones that would have been good trade arounds. The closest that we had to that was the NMM late in the day, and just not a whole lot of time to maneuver in there.
Yep. Yeah. It's always a tough day for Holly. It's much like well, I shouldn't say always a tough day. I've seen down days where she's done real well, but not bad.
Yeah, not bad.
A lot of traders I did today.
If we pull this over here, if you stuck around in moderate, you took a little beating. Not too bad of a beating.
Not too bad.
Obviously, aggressive would have been the most horrible beating. But on a day like today, aggressive wins out. Conservative wins out, and no big surprise there either.
Nope. Stick and move.
Yeah.
All right, you can shoot it back to me.
All righty, here it comes.
All right. All right, guys. So what I wanted to tell you about is shorting, and maybe not necessarily shorting, but just being a little counterintuitive to what the market's doing at the time. And that doesn't mean just going, directly in the face of the market, like buying a bunch of longs today just because it's a down day. But using your charts and using your moving averages and things like that to your advantage when you don't have a lot of momentum in either direction. In other words, if you get into a channeling kind of sloppy market, this strategy can work really well. And I just feel like we're in that time right now. I obviously work with a lot of traders. I see the momentum stocks, they jump in on. I've done it a couple of times, and it's just you get a half a day and then they roll back over. So we're gonna work with something a little bit different here today, and just try to don't go with the herd, okay, when there's nowhere to go. So in other words, if you're not rip roaring up, or you're not, market's not tanking, try to be, a little bit, like I said, counterintuitive, and go against the herd sometimes. And a couple of great windows that I have are, and I already got the history run for today, and this is a pullback above 50 SMA long swing. This is a really, and I'll share both of these, don't worry about it. And this is basically a bounce, okay, that you fade. It's a short, okay, let it get up below the, try to see if I can find an example here. Sure, first one I pull up doesn't work. Let's go earlier in the day here. Yeah, that's a good one right here. Okay, this stock had a huge bounce off the, after selling off all the way down here below 50. Look at that, bounce as high as 70, and then try to go again. Well, look what happened today. Okay, it got tired, and there's your signal right when it took out yesterday's low and got below that 50-period moving average. And look at the follow through you had to the downside. Okay, when the tape is going down and working in your favor, this is a great strategy that you might want to implement. And just, I know a lot of people don't like shorting, okay, because you can't have unlimited losses, and everybody scares you with this unlimited loss. But if you're day trading, you're sitting there watching, unless they halt the stock and they're bought out by something, you can't live with that kind of fear. You gotta play the odds, and when the market is ugly like it was today, this can be a very good strategy to put in place. But you might be saying, well, Andy, how do we know the market was going to be ugly? It opened up down a little bit, looked like it was going to go flat, maybe, everybody's been buying the dips. Well, just kind of, a Q can be the weakest sector, like the Qs, which have been leaders for most of this bull market. Now, let's face it, over the last 12 years, the tech stocks have been leading in the way, okay? Well, they're not doing it anymore. And when you see the tech stocks come down here, they break through their moving average. Like I say, you got your 10, you got your 20 and 50 lined up opposite as you would in a nice little bull, market. And then you get a bounce here up to this 50, and then Steve even mentioned on his Tuesday webinar, you know, you be careful with this one right here because it could be running out of steam. And what did we get yesterday? We had another little topping wick, 2 little topping wicks there. So this is the kind of thing that can kind of put it in your head. Well, you know what? I may be looking for a short strategy here because it looks like, you know, the steam may be running out in this market. Even think about how difficult it was, even with the Fed doing everything they can to get this market to 4,000. The SPYs couldn't do it. I don't think the SPYs ever touched, I think right here they got up to like 398.12. I'm going like, gosh, you had 3 days there really that you really couldn't even push the market up to 4,000. Tells me sellers were at this level, obviously trying to get in front of that 4,000 level. So when you get little hints like that, maybe you want to come in the next day prepared to maybe put something like this to work. Now, let's take a look at the configuration to see, you know, how we set this up. Okay. Just the opposite. Things are going to be just the opposite you catch in this long swing, and I'll show you this configuration here in a minute as well. We want it below the 50-day moving average. I got a negative 0.01 as a max, so it has to be below the 50-day moving average. Typically in the industry, the 50-day moving average is kind of the guideline from a stock, you know, being bullish or bearish. Now, I know a lot of people will tell you in the longer term, much longer term, the 200-day moving average probably holds a little more weight. But for swing traders, day traders, you're probably better off focusing on that 50 period. That's why I like to use only short stocks that are below their 50 period moving average. Price between 5 and 500. Position in previous days range. You may be saying, what do we have here? We got a max of 2. Click on our show me button. You're going to see the price is no more than 2% above the low of this range. So we know that it is close to taking out the low of yesterday, of the prior trading day's range. That's big. That's what you want to see. You know, if you're shorting a stock, I want it going through yesterday's lows, and I also want it below its 50-day moving average. If the market's in my favor, I know I got a pretty good chance of making some money on this short. Relative volume, I just put in here 1. That, you know, you can change this. It doesn't necessarily have to be doing 1 or more. You know, stock's not doing quite average volume, can sell off as well too. I just put that in there to kind of you know, thin out the number of trades I got. Change in 10 days. I put, and this is another one you could take out if you want to. I want it to have moved up over the last 10 days, you know, and not just be something just be kind of slopping around, not really going anywhere to the downside or the upside. So that would just ensure that I had a little movement over the last 10 days, at least up 3%. And position in 10-day range. I also want it no more than below 50. In other words, I want it in the upper portion, upper half of its 10-day range. You ask, well, why do I want it to be this way? Because I want it to be able to have a little drop. So here's a 10-day range. I don't want to find things that are down here that really hasn't moved up with the market. In other words, they may just been slopping, going around, going sideways, not going anywhere. So this will assure me that it's moved up because of the change, has to be at least 3%, and it's in its upper. So in other words, I like for them to be have a little fall to them. You know, if I, sorry about that. If I'm going to short it, okay, I don't want them in a tight range. So let's get back. This is what I'm showing you. Let's get back. I do want to talk about the 3 shorts I've had in Tesla over the last couple of months here, because they've all been really good ones, and I'm not just bragging. I just want to show you what I'm thinking when I did it. Okay, the first one was right around in here. I noticed the market was moving higher, going to highs, and Tesla wasn't going anywhere. You know, it was just kind of stuck in a range. Now remember, the market was going higher during this time. Tesla wasn't. And then finally we had a break here, you know, after basically 6 weeks of not going anywhere. We had a break there of the major moving averages, and that was my first short position in Tesla. Now this was a good one. I did cover I'm not gonna say I covered at the very low. As a matter of fact, I think I covered some at the open right here. I tried to let it go, and then finally, I think I covered the rest, but still a very good trade. And then I was stalking it some more. I was hoping this day it would come back up to the fast line. It didn't get there, but what I did on this day, you had your downward sloping fast line. You got your 20 about to break through the 50. That's what I want to see. And then on this day right here, I shorted it pretty close near to the high right there because that's what I like to do. I like things for pop up and short kind of in the pocket. This was another great trade, and I'm not going to tell you I shorted the bottom. I probably covered some, you know, right here, and I don't know, but it was a good trade. And then what I did on vacation, I missed my entry on this line right here. I was on vacation, but I did come back and I shorted on this day, even though it was above the 20. I just felt like other things I was looking at, the other tech stocks, the high flyers, everything was just not showing a whole lot of weakness. But I shorted it right around 700, and I'm still shorted. Okay, almost 50 points in the money. But you know, the thing about this, you don't have to do a lot of size with Tesla. You can make it 100 points in Tesla really easy. So don't think I'm going to this with huge size, guys. I'm not. But you know, that's the way I like to play it. So, but I wanted to show you this because you can see my strategy. I don't like chasing things, okay? I don't like chasing things short and lows like this, okay? If you get in a real bearish market when things are just falling out of bed, everything, that works. Not in the environment we have now, okay? You want to let them come up to you, okay? Let them maybe start to fizzle out, you know, and then bam, you hit them again and you can make some decent money. And the reason I wanted to show you this, it's very much similar to this alert window that I set up. Will kind of help you find these trades. And let's go through some more real quick here. Let's just go through. Now, if I took out that relative volume, there'd be a lot more in here, but we'll just take a look at some of these. That one started to work, but had a little rally for some reason at the let's go down a little bit more around, yeah, about 15 minutes after the market opened. This was a beautiful one. There you go. Okay, it was already below its 50-day moving average, and once it took out that low, there's your signal pretty much all day. GOL, another one. Okay, once it took out that low, yesterday's low, there's another nice little signal. Workhorse, it worked a little bit, nothing to write home about, and this is what I'm talking about because, you know, it really hasn't done anything. It's not just not moving a lot. This is why I'd rather see them, you know, be up, had a move over the last several days. There you go. There's a good one. You see this? This is what I'm talking about. You had a nice little move off the bottom, tired, well below its 50-day moving average. I don't need to be right on their 50. I just need to be below, and then there you have your break of yesterday's low. And not only that, breaking the 2 moving averages there as well. So another nice one there. And let's go over just a few more, and then I will share this out. There you go. You had your move up, broke that low. You can see what I'm talking about now. Obviously, you got to be careful. If you take a position like this, we know it's been a buy the dip market. Okay, so don't. If it doesn't work, you don't feel comfortable, and buyers come in, and this thing goes, you know, in your favor a little bit, then reverses and goes through. You know, you get out. You know, but you at least set yourself up for a potential win. That one really didn't work. Pretty much flat in that one. And that one didn't either. That one's actually showing some relative strength there. All right, I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time. I'm going to put this back on real time. Okay, and I'm going to share it. And you guys feel free to, you know, change the relative volume if you want to see more stuff coming through. Because I promise you, if you take out that relative volume, you're going to see about twice as much of the stuff you know coming through. But let me go ahead and save and share this one. And I'll put it into the chat window, guys. This is going to be, I'm just going to call this one short swing. And the other one I'll call long swing. Now, for you long guys, because let's face it, probably on average, 70% of the time the market is bullish, going up, okay? And honestly, over the last 12 years, that number's probably been closer to 90%. So this one I think is going to be one that you use more. But at the same time, this is one where you don't have to be chasing highs. You let them come back to you. Let's take a look. X was a great example today. Even though the market finally took over, but this is what you're getting right here. It's pulling back 3 days. You have a bar reversal, and there your signal is. So even if you were playing the long side today and you jumped in X, you had some beautiful price action in your favor. Okay, once it broke below and closed below this 10 period moving average, maybe you get out, unless you're a swing trader, and then you'd still actually be in the money on this one. But I'm not sure I would like that big old top in wick. CMC is going to be very close to X. It's another metals, but that's what you're looking for. See how this is pulled back? You're not chasing highs up here. You're not chasing highs and getting sucked in right there, and having to deal with this. You're waiting for it to pull back in the lower part of its 5-day time frame, range, and then bar reversal. I doubt we're going to find anything in here today that worked great, because let's face it, it was an ugly tape. But maybe, yeah, there you go. When you start seeing things like this, that immediately go through. But this is the first. I don't like the first 15 minutes of the day, really. Let's go a little bit further here. But like I said, you're not going to find too much stuff that worked today. It was just an ugly tape. But trust me, on good days, this is a very, very sweet alert. And I'm going to share this with you as well. No sense in me going through a lot of these. You're going to see the same thing. Market just got a hold of everything like it did and just ripped it down. Which goes to show you guys, you can have two great alerts, okay? You just have to know when to implement them, okay? And if you're looking at the market, you're looking at the SPYs, you see a gap down today, never could get flat. There's your flat line in the market. Never got up there, okay? Maybe you should be having this one, okay, in your arsenal for today. And Q's is actually worse than this. So it's knowing when to implement these things. So let's say we have, 2 or 3 days of pullback, which I think would be healthy. I mean, this market is just, it needs, me and Steve always say it needs a bath. I feel like it needs a bath. So let's say we get 2 or 3 pullbacks. And then the market starts to stabilize. Looks like the buyers are coming in and starting to bid the market. Maybe you want to pull this one out for that next day. See if you can get things to work to the long side. All right. I'm going to share this while I'm doing it today. Like I said, this is going to be a fun one. I'm going to see how you guys are for setting up shorts. Plus, you may give me some good ideas, because I like shorting. I'd rather go long, but I don't mind shorting. So for our price alerts for this week, guys, we're going to do only shorts, okay? So be looking for some shorts. I'm going to share this out, and then we'll take some ideas, and we'll set some price alerts for our price alert game to the short side only. All right, let's do, and I won't do this every week, guys. I think it'll be fun just to do it this week. Maybe help teach you a backhand for those that may not know. Everybody's going to share their ideas, and you can maybe see the price alerts going off. I think it'll be a fun little experiment. All right, let me put this on real time and share it. All right, and this is the long swing. All right, there is the cloud link to the long swing. For those of you guys who are new in here, what I'm able to do is I share my cloud link. That's the code for this alert. I drop it, and they are able to copy it, and then they now have access to this these 2 alerts. All right, so let's move this out of the way. I don't see a lot of shorts, Jamie. I don't think people feel comfortable doing shorts. I may have to open it up to both long and shorts if I don't get many. But I got a nice clean price alert window here, cleaned everything off of it. And it looks like I only got 1 short so far.
One so far. Don't be shy, ladies and gentlemen.
Nope. Let me take a look at that while we're waiting. VUXI short. Wait, am I reading that wrong?
I thought it said VUXI, but apparently
Yeah.
that's not a stock.
No.
VUZI.
All right. Hey, we're getting a few in there. I got a couple anyway. Okay, VUZI, VUZI. Okay, I see what he's doing, and that's a short, and it is 23.65. You're welcome, Mike. 23.65. Oh, he's putting it up tight here. I hope it doesn't go off. And this is a short, and this is KJ. I'm above, and we got TCAT. He's ready to short this momentum.
That's one of the
Oh yeah, and it's up in after hours.
trading sites for artwork.
39. Oh, there you go. He's looking to fade it at 39. That's the way to do it. Put short, and that's Vincent. I kind of rooting for it. Only reason because I am long this leaf here. Started buying it back over here, and then added some today. I'm hoping that one it's in the same field as that TCAT. Renata says oil. I don't know if you're just OLL or what is it?
I think OII.
OII. Oh, that makes sense. Those are caps, huh? Okay. Can I have a price there, Renata? Is that 1050? Okay. Ooh, that's letting it go pretty far before you short it. You sure you don't want to go a little bit higher? I'll stick it in there for you, but all right. What else we got? Tesla short at 650. Oh, he's gonna. There we go. Yeah, that one looks like it. I'm definitely rooting for you. Who is that? James. All right, we're starting to get a few. That's good.
Okay, we got Dave up there with DG.
Oh, I missed that. DG short at 178.50.
That's it.
Ooh, he's looking for some more sell off there. I see that. We got oh, I know, you're right, Ajay. Yeah, I should have made Chris play the game. But yeah, sorry about that. That would have been fun. All right, we got XLE,
I believe, yeah.
okay. And what price is that, Jamie?
XLE from Martin, 47.47.
All righty. That's smart. All right, let's see.
Next, we got Stephen with
TITP?
TITP at 850. Or TIPT, he corrected himself.
Okay. at 850.
Yep.
All righty. Got to make sure I put 50 short. This one may go off. We'll see. And that was Steven. Nope, didn't good. FSLY. What's that price, Jamie?
68.65 from Stan.
Oh, that looks pretty weak. Not much going on there. That looks pretty weak. I may even take that. No, you're welcome, Ronald. You're welcome. Okay, Aja says ITI, but I need a price on that one. 12. 12? 660. All righty. All right. Okay, this is Walt. Okay, short SQ at 22255. Square at 2025. 22255. Short, and that was Walt. Dimitri, SOS 896. Okay, he's looking to fade a move higher. I like that. Now we got
Did
it.
we get GILT yet? GILT up there for Jeff?
No, I didn't. GILT.
Yep, at 1192.
Okay, we can sure do it. Well, I hit it. That was Jeff.
Correct.
All right. I'm glad we had so many to play. This will be good. All right, guys. It looks like that's it, Jamie. I'm going to go ahead and share these out. See what time frame does it trade. We just look. We look at a next week. So basically, these are kind of long swing trades. What we do is we look at next week and see how it works. Now, what I'll do, since we're kind of been in a bull market for a long time, and if all these end up red, we can take a look at them to see if there was some money made for 2 or 3 days for sure. Yeah, I always do that when I look at them to see what opportunity, if some money had to make some money in a shorter time frame. All right, let me share these.
Yeah, Andy, that sounds like my logs that I handed out on Monday. They were looking really good in the first half of today's session, but
oh yeah,
things changed quickly.
All right, here are the price alerts. And you guys take them because I saw some good ones in here. We have some traders in here for sure. So you guys can take that cloud link and add them to your price alerts there. And good luck to everybody if you do short. I'm not trying to encourage people to short, guys. I'm just saying, if the opportunity presents itself, hey, you can make some money shorting. Boy, can you make some money shorting. All right, Scott, I'll bring him in, and we will, guys, thank you very much for your participation. And
yeah, thanks, Andy. Just a couple items on the way out. Make sure you grab this ebook for earnings season. Just go to tradeIdeas.com/earnings. It's got some great strategies that'll help you take advantage of the season, and it's got some cloud links so you can pop into your layout without any effort after you've read about it. And we got a podcast. Search for Trade Ideas Podcast wherever you listen to your pods. We've got some great interviews out there this year. Go ahead and listen to the archives and be ready to catch the next one as soon as it comes out by adding us as a subscription. Use the code opportunity to save some money this month, or 15% off your first month or year of Trade Ideas. You can also use that for an upgrade from standard to premium. So go ahead and follow Jamie at QuantBot. You can find our Steve Gomez at Today Trader. Go ahead and find us also at Trade Ideas. Trade Ideas Pro is the Facebook handle to like and share with your friends. And then info at Trade Ideas is where you should send all your questions. Goes into our help desk. The recording of this will be up later on tonight or tomorrow. You get an email reminder tomorrow about how to find it. Thanks, Jamie and Andy. Have a good one.
Thanks, Scott. Thanks, everybody. I'll see some of you guys tomorrow in the support session.
Yep, see you tomorrow.